And welcome back to another video here. Welcome to the Football Expert. My name is Reichley Ruby, and today we are going over Florida State's football prediction. We're going in to see what it should look like, where improvement can be had over last season, where progress can be made, and what needs to happen in order to have a successful season after the 5-7 season and 2-6 overall. Did get a win over Alabama, but struggles after the double overtime loss at Virginia, with only wins against Wake Forest and then Virginia Tech. So before we get too far into the video, make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below, and comment your thoughts and opinions as well. I want to know what you guys think about this video. I want to know what you guys have for your prediction. Like, where do you think Florida State's going to go? Where do you think their record's going to be at? How do you think Ashton Daniels is at quarterback? Is Mike Norvell fired at the end of this year? Is he currently on the hot seat? Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are as we get into that. We look at the team's roster real quick before we get into the schedule. Like I said, Ashton Daniels, one of the big transfers coming in, probably the biggest, I would say, coming in. Then you have Quintivan Weisner. I could be saying that wrong. He came from Texas, so I apologize. You can let me know if I'm saying that wrong. So Quinty Trayvon Weisner, 600 yards, 4.6 yards a carry last year, but the year before that he had over 1,000. So I'm very interested to see how he will do. So with that, then you have I believe 6 transfers on defense. So Mike Norvell doing Mike Norvell things, transferring in almost all the entire offensive line except Andre Otto. So that brings us to the 2026 schedule. As promised, year starts off in week 0, August 29th, against New Mexico State. The Aggies coming to town. Very interesting game here. So, like, as I'm looking at this first game against New Mexico State shouldn't have too many issues. Easy win there, and not to get too dragged into that. Easy win there. Then SMU. This is where I'm really interested to see where SMU is at, because not only is it a good team, Rhett Lashley as the head coach over there at SMU, a very good head coach, like one of the best head coaches in college football. I put him probably in the top 20 if I was making a list of head coaches of where I think they're at. Obviously, still have Kevin Jennings at quarterback for SMU. So very interesting to see what happens there. I think that this is just going to be a loss. Here's my thing. And Florida State fans, let me know what you guys think. I just don't know how to trust Mike Norvell to beat SMU. Obviously, big win last year in week 1 of last year. Against Alabama. And this would be week 1 again, obviously the week 0 game, but it's against New Mexico State. Disregard that. I'm not saying that this Florida State team isn't talented enough, because they have the pieces, but do they have the ability to put it all together in week 1? Maybe. I just don't think so. I think that they're going to get a loss there. Then they have a bye week, and then you guys play Alabama on the road. I think that this is a loss. I just think Alabama is the better team. And if Kalen DeBoer loses this game, even though he got an extension, he may get fired. It'd be a really bad loss at Alabama. If this game was at Florida State, then maybe I'd be a little more confident in it. But I just have Alabama in that game. Then you have a home game against Central Arkansas. Easy win there. Central Arkansas, just not a good team. So I think that they'll get a win there. Then Virginia, very interesting game here. And if you're going to have any sort of momentum going into this ACC schedule, you're going to have to get a win here. And I just think that they are in a very interesting spot that I am going to give them a win here. I'm going to trust them over Tony Elliott. I'm going to give them the win. I think that they are the better team in this scenario, but I think that it is a very interesting scenario with Tony Elliott and that team being one of the best teams if not the best team, depending on how you want to like judge it in the ACC last year. Because obviously Miami did stupid things and didn't make the conference tournament, and then Virginia lost to Duke, who was 7-5, and it was a whole weird thing. I don't know how to explain it, but ACC fans, yeah, you guys know this. Road game against Louisville. Just like Jeff Brom is a head coach better. I think Louisville is in a better place as a program. It is Friday night. It's in Kentucky. Friday night games are crazy. You guys have seen even Florida State. I think they played a Friday night game up in Syracuse or something like that. They're just Friday games always are just weird. Outside of rivalry weekend, they give weird vibes in terms of where it's played at, because you just have a lot of upsets. I feel like I could be wrong. Maybe it's just a feeling more than an actual fact. But I have Louisville winning this game. But maybe Florida State gets the upset. But right now, I trust Louisville. Then they have a road game against Miami. I'm sorry. I know it's a rival, but I just don't see it. I don't see them beating Miami. So I have that as a loss for the Hurricanes, or against the Hurricanes. Sorry, a loss for the Seminoles. Then you have a bye week, and then you have a game against Clemson at Doak Campbell. And even though Florida State and Clemson are very even teams, at this point in the season, it's not great. They could possibly Norvell be in really iffy territory, which is what I find interesting. So I think that they get a loss here. And I think that the streak kind of continues. Then they head to a road game at Boston College. I think that they finally get a win there. So that is a 4th win on the season. I think that they finally are able to get over the hump. I just don't think Bill O'Brien's a good coach. Easy win at Boston College. Road game against Pitt. Once again, another road game. A very interesting matchup there against Pitt. And that's kind of what I would like to see, is a defensive-heavy team in Pat Narduzzi versus the transfer-minded team in Mike Norvell. I'm going to give a loss here to the Seminoles once again. Again, one of those Friday nights. This is the third. They have 3 Friday night games this season, does Florida State. Don't love it. So loss there. Home game against NC State. I'm going to give them the win here because I don't know what this NC State squad looks like this year. They did lose to NC State last year, Florida State, 21-11. But I don't love where NC State's at right now with Dave Doran, so I'm going to give them the win. And it's homecoming also, so they did play really well against Wake Forest in homecoming. So 4th win there. Then a home game against Florida for the final game of the season. And it's going to be a very interesting one. John Summerall, the new head coach at Florida, bringing in a lot of interesting pieces. And with that, I think that brings in with a lot of interesting possible production. And that means that I think Florida has an opportunity to be able to set a good mark in this rivalry at the very beginning of it. And that's where I think that they're going to be able to get a win here. I think that Florida gets that win. And with that, I think that Florida State ends the year 4-8. Does that get Mike Norvell fired? Very possibly could. You never know what's going to happen, but I think that they do get Mike Norvell fired with that. So I have that as it. I know it's a tough preview. 4-8, not a great year for Florida State, but that is what it is. It's going to wrap up today's video. Make sure you hit one of the 2 videos down below and hit the subscribe button up here. Help me reach my goal of 7,000 subscribers by the end of the year, or by the start of college football season, by the end of these predictions. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.